Can a place steal your heart? Cornwall for sure has a reputation as a romantic destination.
I'll show you some ideas for a weekend trip, whether you're traveling as a couple, with friends or on your own.
Between its dramatic cliffs, mystical legends and beautiful beaches, you just might find yourself falling head over heels. For a giant, an island, and maybe even a scone.
The county of Cornwall in Britain is located at the most southwestern tip of England and has almost 700 kilometers of coastline. The coast is not only home to nature, but also historical and legendary sites, such as this landmark of the south coast.
Did you think I was in France for a second? I don't blame you. This looks a lot like the famous Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy, but it's its smaller English cousin, Mount St. Michael.
Both places have the same name. That's because monks from Mont Saint-Michel in France founded a branch of their monastery here. The path to the island is on a raised road that's only accessible at low tide. At high tide, you have to take a boat.
You don't want to miss the walk along the causeway. It's not every day you get to walk across the water onto an island, especially one with so much history.
On the website of St. Michael's Mount, you can check the tide calendar to plan the best time of day for your visit. Jen Home shows visitors like me around the island. It's not just an attraction, it's also home to some of the island's staff.
We have our boat team, our gardeners, the conservation, and they live here with their families. So lots of children, about 10 children live here on the island. And the adults are also the fire brigade and security, and they look after the island 24 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
St. Michael's Mount has appeared in many films, including the series House of the Dragon. Part of what makes the island attractive are the legends surrounding it.
Cornwall is known as the land of giants, and giants lived all up and down the length of Cornwall. And one lived here on the island, and he was called Cormoran. He was a particularly mean and horrible giant who terrorised the local community. And so a little boy from Marazion came over and he did away with the giant in the middle of the night.
If you want to get to the castle, you have to climb 60 meters up the granite steps.
Check this out, the giant's heart.
The castle has been inhabited by the same family since the 17th century. The oldest part is a small church from the 12th century. And of course, it's dedicated to the patron saint of the island, Archangel Michael. Part of the castle is open to visitors in the summer months.
So the St. Alban family live here in their private apartments, and then we have our formal rooms which are open for visitors to enjoy. This room is the Blue Drawing Room, and it is traditionally where we receive royalty if we have a royal visit.
Like Queen Elizabeth II or King Charles when he was still prince. The view of the sea and the palace gardens is more than royal.
You can actually walk in the footsteps of royalty here. These are bronze casts of King Charles and Queen Camilla. Same shoe size as King Charles.
I take a boat back to the mainland. Because of the tide, visitors who walk may not get back with dry feet. Now I feel like relaxing, so I head to St. Ives. The town is famous for its beaches. And it's a hotspot for artists too. Cornwall is really diverse. I think it's almost won my heart. I'm drawn to one of the very romantic cafes where the classic English afternoon tea is served along with freshly baked scones, clotted cream and jam.
When it comes to cream tea, there's a friendly rivalry between the neighboring counties of Devon and Cornwall on whether the cream or the jam should go first. Because I'm in Cornwall, I'm doing it the Cornish way. So, the jam, and then the clotted cream. You can really taste the butter in it.
The climate in Cornwall is especially mild all year thanks to the Gulf Stream. That's why you find some of the most magnificent gardens in the UK here. I'll show you the Lost Gardens of Heligan, which are 200 acres and have parts that date back to the 18th century. They fell into oblivion after the First World War and were restored in the 1990s.
Everything that you're seeing today, they've had to rediscover from just things being overgrown. So in the kitchen garden, the brambles were as tall as the wall. A lot of the buildings were completely destroyed. So all of that's had to be reclaimed and then also restored. And that's ongoing even today.
At the heart of the farm is the productive garden for fruits and vegetables, which are grown as they were back in the day. And there's more to discover. Giants are hiding here too. My personal favorite is the jungle, and it's not even in a greenhouse. This valley has a microclimate that's 5 degrees warmer than Heligan's other gardens. Plants from all over the world grow here. It's time to grab a bite in the fishing village of Padstow. I want to taste a specialty found all over Cornwall.
Hello, morning.
I would like to try a Cornish pasty.
You would? Would you like a steak, a cheese?
Maybe I just go for a cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion?
Yeah. Or would you say the steak is the best?
Oh, steak is the best.
Yeah, I go for that.
You're going to go for that. Medium or large?
The medium for
Nah,
now.
you've got to go large. You're in Cornwall.
Okay.
There you go, my love.
Thank you.
No worries.
Traditionally filled with beef, potatoes, onions and turnips, pasties now come in many variations. In the 17th and 18th centuries, they were a popular meal for miners and farm workers.
The crimp, the twisted edge, isn't just for decoration. It's meant to seal the pasty, and it gave workers a way to hold their food without getting their hands dirty.
Finally, I ventured to one of Cornwall's spookiest places, Falmouth. It has a long history of shipwrecks and dark legends. I'm taking a ghost tour.
I am, of course, dead. You can go if you want. I know. About 400 years ago. I know. It was horrible circumstances, and honestly, I'm still not really over it. So if you could avoid bringing it up, I'd really appreciate it.
The tour lasts an hour and you'll also learn about the city's history. It takes place twice a week from April to November. Tickets cost £10 and are best booked online.
Lovely. Now, those of you at the back, feel free to come in. There's plenty of space over here. I'd like to reward you with the view behind you. And so in the darkness, that ship is crunched into those rocks, Trefusis Point, directly in front of you. And in very short order, the wind, the waves, the elements tear it into splinters.
History rocks in Plymouth, and so just kind of...
So, can a place steal your heart? After exploring the coastline, the legends and that romantic atmosphere, Cornwall certainly makes its case. What about you? Would you like to explore this part of England? And what landmark would you like to visit the most?